As night deepens and shadows dance upon the walls, we welcome you to a world where darkness reigns and bloodlust thrives. Tonight, on Let Me Take You Higher, the podcast, Urban Legends Edition, we unveil the chilling and beguiling myth of the vampire. From the fog-laden streets of Transylvania to the whispered tales of haunted homes, the vampire has captivated our imaginations for centuries. But are these creatures of the night simply figments of our fears, or do they stem from a darker, more sinister truth? Join us as we embark on a haunting journey through history, folklore, and the psychological landscape that has kept the vampire's curse alive. The vampire myth serves as a mirror reflecting humanity's deepest fears: death, disease, and the unknown. Throughout history, in times of epidemics and societal upheaval, these blood-sucking legends have become personifications of our anxieties. They evolved to address contemporary fears, such as the rise of infectious diseases or the loss of personal autonomy, reminding us that even in the modern world, our shadows can take a terrifying form. Many vampire legends trace their origins to historical figures who instilled terror in their time. Vlad the Impaler's brutal reign and Elizabeth Báthory's infamous crimes illustrate how real-life horrors can morph into folklore. The tales these figures often serve as cautionary stories, warning society about the dangers that lurk not only in the dark, but also within ourselves. These narratives are not just tales spun from imagination. They are deeply rooted in human history and experience. So hold on tight. We won't bite.
In the dead of night, they come for you. Fangs bared, thirsting for something new. Blood as sweet as the darkest wine. You'll be theirs for all of time. Beware the bite, it's your last night. They crave the blood out of sight. Eternal hunger never dies. In the vampire's eyes. From the crypts of old they rise again. Legends spun tales of ancient sin. Beneath the moon They take their flight to haunt your dreams till morning light. Beware the bite, it's your last night. They crave the blood out of sight. Eternal hunger never dies. In the vampire's eyes. Through centuries, they've stalked the night, from castles cold to cities bright. In shadows deep, they wait for you. There's no escape, they'll see it through. Beware the bite, it's your last night. They crave the blood out of sight. Eternal hunger never dies. In the vampire's eyes.
Welcome back to Let Me Take You Higher podcast, Urban Legends Edition. Tonight we're talking about vampires and how they represent the allure of forbidden desires, seduction, immortality, and power. This dichotomy of fear and attraction fuels the ongoing fascination with these creatures, revealing our complex relationship with mortality and our yearning for what lies beyond. As we grapple with the inevitability of death, vampires embody the ultimate escape from our human limitations. Over the centuries, the portrayal of vampires has shifted from monstrous figures to complex anti-heroes, reflecting changes in societal values. This evolution demonstrates our shifting understanding of morality, identity, and desire. Modern depictions often humanize vampires, exploring the nightlife and their struggles and their desires, inviting us to sympathize with them rather than simply fear them. The blending of myth with science in contemporary discourse raises intriguing questions, with ongoing research into longevity, genetic manipulation, and even potential cures for aging. The line between myth and reality may blur. The intersection compels us to consider not just the legends of vampires, but also the ethical implications of our desires for eternal life. Vampires also embody the allure of forbidden desires, seduction, immorality, and power, symbols of escape from our human limitations, challenging our understanding of life itself. Over the centuries, the portrayal of vampires has shifted from monstrous figures to complex anti-heroes. This evolution demonstrates our shifting understanding of what it means to be a creature of the night. It invites us to sympathize with these once feared beings. Finally, the blending of myth with science raises intriguing questions. With ongoing research into longevity, genetic manipulation, and potential cures for aging, the line between myth and reality starts to blur. This intersection compels us to consider not just the legends of vampires, but also the ethical implications of our desire to live forever. Eternal life. Are we, too, seeking the elusive promise of immortality? And what price are we willing to pay for it? As our journey through the darkness draws to a close, we reflect on the enduring legacy of the vampire, a myth that transcends time, geography, and culture. Whether they symbolize our darkest fears or represent our forbidden desires, vampires continue to haunt our collective imagination, from the chilling howls of the past to the seductive whispers of the present. The vampire's curse remains an unbroken bond between humanity and the supernatural. As you step back into the light, remember the stories we tell and the myths we believe shape our understanding of the world in which we live. Keep questioning, keep exploring. Who knows what truths may linger just beyond the shadows? Thank you for joining us on this eerie exploration, and until next time, stay curious. And don't forget to look over your shoulder. You never know what may be lurking in the darkness.
And that's a wrap on this episode of Let Me Take You Higher, the podcast. Big thanks to our special guests, and a huge shout out to our incredible sponsors. You guys are literally the wind beneath our podcast wings. Remember, this show was dreamed up and brought to life by yours truly, Mr. Villain, and it's all made possible by BC Entertainment LLC, a proud subsidiary of Big Cheddar Music LLC. All rights are reserved by BC Entertainment, so don't even think about touching that dial without permission. Until next time, keep your minds elevated and your vibes higher. This is Mr. Villain signing off. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and stay forever gifted and lifted.
When life storms rage, skies grow dim, we gather the shards, piece by piece within. Through tears and trials, we find our might. Let me take you higher toward the light. Let me take you higher beyond the pain. Where broken dreams mend and hope remains. We'll rise from ashes like a phoenix bold. In the symphony of resilience, our stories unfold. When life storms rage and skies grow dim, we gather the shards piece by piece within. Through tears and trials, we find our might. Let me take you higher toward the light. Let me take you higher beyond the pain. Where broken dreams mend and hope remains. We'll rise from ashes like a phoenix bold. In the symphony of resilience, our stories unfold.